Hi guys, today I just want to share one of the things that I've learned. My experience trying to get, well, I've already got approved and fully down payment and just waiting for authority to move in for my small house that I bought with Lumina as a YouTuber. So I'm gonna try to give my experience and my tips and how I was able to avail a unit with just being a YouTuber, because you cannot easily get millions of loan uh, if you don't have an employment. If you a job, if you're not employed, if you don't have a employment certificate. So, well, YouTube is not a job, so there's no employment certificate there. So you don't have proof that you're employed, because you're not employed, because you're not an employee of YouTube, but you earn money. So and then you have the money, and then you want, well, all of us want to have the goal and the dream to have your own house, because it's very expensive to rent. Yeah, like this is my place. It's 8,000 here. Iloilo is very expensive already for Iloilo standards. Well, first you need to show them your proof of income during the initial phase. So show them the screenshots of the income that you earn from YouTube, how much you earn, and it should be a screenshot that has that proves that Google is paying you. Well, for me, one of the I have a screenshot on with my Google AdSense, and I also submitted the Western Union claim, what you call that, my proof of claim when I was claiming the money from Western Union, the slip when you claim your money, because I use Western Union instead of going directly to my bank when I'm claiming my money from YouTube that I earn. So, and then, well, you also need to have a backup plan, because it depends with the housing company. It depends if they are strict. Because most of them are strict. So what you need to do is, some of them will really demand that for a certificate of employment, because they want the guarantee or assurance that you are employed, that you have the money to pay every month. So you should have a co-buyer that you trust with you, that you could use their documents, that you could use their employment certificates, you can use their name to buy the unit with you. I think it's called the co-buyer. So you should have a backup plan. So in my case, I have my mother in case they won't approve my YouTube because I'm not employed. So, but luckily we got approved with, I don't know if I'm allowed to mention, approved with the housing company, because I think they appraise my income in YouTube and they think it's good. I think I'm qualified, so they approved me, and then so they will further ask for further proof that you are connected to YouTube. So it really confused me, because I've already told them that I'm not an employee. So because the problem with the system for you to have loans with society, with the system, you need to be part of the system. So they require you to be an employee. So you should be part of the system, because if you're not part of the system, if they think that you're not part of the system, why they would loan you ₱1 million for a house? Why? So that's our problem as self-entrepreneurs, or whatever we call that, or self-employed in as YouTube. So what I did, I showed them some documents with my AdSense that, well, I blurred out the sensitive parts, but you need to show them that it's Google there, the logo of Google there, with the AdSense, and the payment with the AdSense with Google. I printed it out and showed it to them. And what else? What certificate I have is the certificate of non-US activities, so I showed it to them as proof as well. And then I also showed them my tax from the YouTube tax. If you go to YouTube with your taxes there, you can print there the tax form. Well, if you are from YouTube, you will know that I cannot show it, but yeah, the tax form from YouTube. So I also used that as proof as well. So from then, so it went smooth sailing. But they also need you have to have a checking account. So that's another big problem, because the banks are also strict. So what I can advise is that you should already open a checking account beforehand, if you can. So if you know someone in the bank or that can help you, or if you already have a bank, like in my case, it's easier. It was easier for me because at first the staff won't help me, but I asked to talk to a manager and I explained my side, and then I showed them my ATM card and to prove that I have an account there. So she checked it, and what was good, if you already have an account for years, it will be easier for your checking account to get approved, because initially the manager said that they would require a letter of intent from the housing company to forward to them, so that they will approve my checking account, because they are very strict, because they are afraid that most people just use the checking account to pay for other things. So after talking a while with the manager, so I managed to get her to agree to have my checking account processed on that day. What she required, instead of a letter of intent, she just required the monthly amortization, a copy of my monthly amortization schedule. So how much I'll be paying and for how many years there. So I emailed her the copy of my monthly amortization schedule, and then after that they will require a proof of billing and 2 valid IDs. So if you're just renting like me, you don't have a permanent address, or your ID, the address on your ID is different from your current address, because we just moved out, and I have my own apartment here. So you need a proof of billing. So I'm lucky to have an internet subscription. Like after I moved out here, within a month I got an internet fiber subscription, so I was able to have the proof of billing that they require. But that's very hard to have if you don't have a permanent address, you don't have a proof of billing under your name. So but at least if you have that, they will accept you. You have higher chance of being accepted. As well, the proof of billing is also needed by the housing company. So well, that's my advice. Try to get any form of billing. I don't know of other forms, but yeah, that's I was lucky to have an internet subscription. Well, so maybe you should have an internet subscription or whatever that you can use, that you can have proof of billing with. So if not, then you should find a bank that there's a manager that you know or someone important. I had a tita, the wife of my mother's brother works in a bank as a manager, so that was my backup plan. Okay, in case I will not be approved in my current bank, but at least having my current bank as my pay card when I was still working last year, so it really helped me because I have a good standing with them, so I have a record and account with them, so it was a bit easier for me to get my checking account approved. So I was so lucky to have it done within the afternoon. And so also prepare about like 300 pesos, it depends on the bank, for the checkbook fee. So yeah, so then you have to, so then what I did was I asked the clerk there that gave me the checkbook, that processed the checkbook, how to do the checkbook. So this is my first time, so ask how to do it and do a trial, but don't sign it, just so that you will know how to do. Then I went to the office of the housing company, and then first you should ask them what name is it addressed to, the right name of the company, not their housing product or subdivision. So because for me it was like 24 months, so you should have it correct, no errors. So yeah, so I think that's it. So just make sure that you have enough funds in your checking account every cut off of your monthly amortization. So also, aside from all those tips, always have a backup plan, have a family member that that can help you, and you can use as a co-buyer in case they will not approve your oh, sorry, no, sorry, I was talking about the housing requirements. So just have a backup plan. So if you're planning, start to open an account now in a bank that you trust, so that you will have record already, so while you're processing, and then it will be easier, they know you already. So again, I think that's it. Or find someone that you know in the bank that can help you process it, that can vouch for you. So I guess that's it. So if not, so request for a letter of intent from your housing company. Well, so I hope that helps. Well, that is just my experience, disclaimer. So it will be different with your, depending on the housing, or it will different depending on the bank, depending on the manager or the clerk that you're talking to, depending on their mood, depending on your luck, depending on your account standing. So that is why one of my suggestions is to open account with them already. But if you don't have yet, well, that is if you're already planning to open an account for a second account. But if you don't have yet, so yeah, you can ask what they require. So I think it's just letter of intent. So in the monthly amortization, but it depends per bank. So have a great day and see you in the next video.